Ooh. Welcome, my dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to this live stream. We took a short break, and now we're back. Let us continue reading. Very happy this wonderful morning. It's time for mangoes. It's a season of mangoes. A time when I want us to continue reading without wasting time. If you're new to this channel, be part of this live stream. I'm very happy to be here. We are in 2 Kings 10. Let us continue reading. Now there were in Samaria 70 sons of the house. So Jehu wrote letters and sent them to Samaria, to the officials of Jezreel, to the elders and to the guardians of Ahab. So then he said to the guardians of Ahab, he said, "You have your master's sons with you, and you have chariots and horses, a fortified city and weapons. Now, as soon as this letter reaches you, choose the best and most worthy of your master's sons, and set him on his father's throne, then fight for your master's house." But they were terrified and said, "If two kings could not resist him, how can we?" So the palace administrator, the city governor, the elders, and the guardians sent this message to Jehu: "We are your servants and will do anything you say. We will not appoint anyone as king. You do whatever you think best." If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me where you're watching me from. It is 4 a.m. Kenyan time. Remember, we are reading the scripture. We just have a few hours to read. If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. "We are your servants and will do anything you say." Then Jehu wrote a second letter saying, "If you're on my side and you will obey me, take the heads of your master's sons and come to me in Jezreel by this time tomorrow." Now the royal princes, 70 of them, were with the leading men of the city who were bringing them up. When the letter arrived, these men took the princes and slaughtered all 70 of them. Those were the sons of Ahab. They put their heads in baskets and sent them to Jehu in Jezreel. When the messenger arrived, he told Jehu, "They have brought the heads of the princes." Then Jehu ordered, "Put them in 2 piles at the entrance of the city gate until morning." The next morning, Jehu went out. He stood before the men and said, "You are innocent. It was I who conspired against my master and killed him. But who killed all these? Know then that not a word of the Lord has spoken against the house of Ahab will fail. The Lord has done what he announced through his servant Elijah." Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. So Jehu killed everyone in Jezreel who remained in the house of Ahab, as well as all his chief men, his close friends and priests, leaving him no survivor. Jehu then set out and went towards Samaria at Beth Eked of the shepherds. If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me where you're watching me from. It is 4 a.m. Kenyan time. We're reading the scripture. Take them alive. You ordered. Tell me where you're watching me from. And I hope that we'll continue reading until we mastered the scripture. He took him alive and slaughtered them by the well of Beth Eked, 42 of them. He left no survivor. After he left there, he went upon Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, who was on his way to meet him. Jehu greeted him and said, "Are you in accord with me as I am with you?" I am. Jehonadab answered, If so, give me a hand. He did, and Jehu helped him up into the chariot. Jehu said, Come with me and see my zeal for the Lord. Then he made him ride in his chariot. When Jehu came to Samaria, he killed all who were left there of Ahab's family. He destroyed them according to the word spoken to Elijah. Any questions up to that? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me. It is time for mangoes. Remember, there's nothing good like a good mango. Nothing like a good mango, eh? Any questions? Nothing like a sweet mango. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me where you're watching me from. Do you love mangoes? Do you love mangoes? I do love mangoes. And this is how I'm checking to see whether I'm on time or I'm not on time. I should finish reading before the mangoes get out of stock. Any question? Any question up to there? You love mangoes. It's time for mangoes, but 2 or 3 weeks, the mangoes will be out of stock. So let's read while the mangoes are there. Let us read before the mangoes. Any question? Any question? Kindly subscribe to this channel. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? You love mangoes? I love mangoes too. Any questions up to there? I want us to take advantage of this. Yeah, take advantage. It's like mangoes. If you don't, it's like mangoes. Eh? They don't wait for you. If you play around, they will rot. All right. So that's the same as time. If you don't take that time, the time will rot. Even time is something that is temporary. So take advantage. Take the opportunity. When you have the energy, work times 2, times 3, times 4. When you have the energy, that's when you do stuff. So when we get 1 hour to read, we're going to take advantage of that 1 hour. All right? Any questions up to there? Take advantage of the time that you have, the energy that you have. Take advantage. Take advantage to read. Take advantage to do your research, so that when at least you tell people when the mangoes are available, I took a good bite. All right. Yeah. Don't start saying, oh, the mangoes will be there the whole year. They'll not be there. Even next month, they'll be not available. They'll not be available. So when you get a chance to eat the mangoes, and this is the chance, like reading the Bible, it's like eating the best mangoes. Let me finish eating this one. was telling my friends, when you get a chance of eating the mangoes, eat. Yes, because sometimes maybe there's a whole sack of mangoes. If there's a whole sack of mangoes, sit down and eat. Because the season will be over. Right? Take advantage of the season and enjoy what is available. Stop asking questions. If it is time for mangoes, it's time for mangoes. Time for bananas, that time will come. Time for any other fruit will come. But for now, right? So enjoy. Enjoy the mangoes. Because if you don't enjoy the mangoes, that season will go away. Then you start saying, you start talking like Arsenal fans. Next season is ours. You don't, I always tell people, don't talk like an Arsenal fan. Saying next season is ours. As if other teams will not be prepared. When you come next season, have also bought good players. Right? Any questions up to there? Don't be like an Arsenal fan. Don't say next season is yours. No. We talk about today, not next season. All right? Any questions up to there? When Jehu brought all the people together and said to them, Ahab served Baal a little, Jehu will serve him much. Now summon all the prophets of Baal, all his servants and all his priests. See that no one is missing, because I'm going to hold a great sacrifice for Baal. Any questions up to there? Somebody was telling me a story about when the story of Didier Drogba. I remember the story of Didier Drogba when he went to Chelsea from Marseille. I'll tell you a good story. And the people of Chelsea, they were not used to a striker from Ivory Coast. They were not used to, seeing that their main striker is an African from Ivory Coast. All right. So they were booing Didier Drogba when he came to Chelsea. I remember it was around in 2004 during Jose Mourinho. I'll give you a very short story and then we'll continue. And Roman Abramovich was asking Jose Mourinho, which player would you want me to sign? Jose Mourinho said, I don't want anybody else, just Didier Drogba. Nobody else. Abramovich asked Jose Mourinho, of all the players in the world, why did you say Didier Drogba? I just don't want anybody else. I want Didier Drogba. So you should have said Cristiano Ronaldo. You should have said, all the other players. But Jose Mourinho, in 2004, said, I don't want anybody else. I just want Didier Drogba. So when Drogba came to Chelsea, all the people in 2004, all the players were like, okay, the fans were like, this guy, who's this guy? Who's this guy? But they started booing him. But you see, Jose Mourinho saw the potential and the Chelsea fans that they were not seeing. I'll not tell you how the story ended. Didier Drogba was the man who brought so much pleasure, so much joy to the fans of Chelsea. All right? So don't look at things in the eyes of instant gratification, but remember that look at things in terms of 5 years. You see, was there change? And I can show you there was huge difference. Any questions after that? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Anyone who fails to come will no longer live, but Jehu was acting deceptively in order to destroy the servants of Baal. Jehu said, call an assembly in honor of Baal. So they proclaimed it. Then they sent word throughout Israel, and all the servants of Baal came. No one stayed away. They crowded into the temple of Baal until it was full from one end to the other. And Jehu said to the keeper of the wardrobe, bring robes for all the servants of Baal. So he brought out robes for them. Then Jehu and Jonadab, son of Baal, Rechab, went into the temple of Baal. Jehu said to the servants of Baal, look around and see that no one who serves the Lord is here with you, only servants of Baal. So they went in to make sacrifices and burnt offerings. Now Jehu had posted 80 men outside with this warning, if any of you lets any of the men I'm placing in your hands escape, it will be your life for his life. As soon as Jehu had finished making the burnt offering, he ordered the guards and the officers, go in and kill them. Let no one escape. So they cut them down with the sword. The guards and the officers threw the bodies out and then entered into the inner shrine of the temple and went into the inner shrine of the temple of Baal. They brought the sacred stone out of the temple of Baal and burned it. They demolished the sacred stone of Baal and tore down the temple of Baal, and people have used it for a latrine to this day. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me where you are watching me. So Jehu destroyed the Baal worship in Israel. However, he did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit, the worship of the golden calves at Bethel and Dan. The Lord said to Jehu, because you have done well in accomplishing what is right in my eyes, and have done to the house of Ahab all I had in mind to do, your descendants will sit on the throne of Israel to the 4th generation. Yet Jehu was not careful to keep the law of the Lord, the God of Israel. With all his heart, he did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, which he had caused Israel to commit. But in those days, the Lord began to reduce the size of Israel. Hazael overpowered the Israelites throughout their territory east of the Jordan, in all the land of Gilead, the region of Gad, Reuben, and Manasseh, from Aror by the Arnon Gorge through Gilead to Bashan. As for the other events of Jehu's reign and all he did, and all his achievements, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Israel? Jehu rested with his ancestors and was buried in Samaria, and Jehoahaz his son succeeded him as king. The time reigned over Israel in Samaria was 28 years. When Athaliah, the mother of Ahaziah, saw that her son was dead, she proceeded to destroy the whole royal family. Ahaziah. But Jehosheba of King Jehoram, the sister of Ahaziah, took Joash, the son of Ahaziah, and stole him away from among the royal princes who were about to be murdered. Athaliah was the daughter of Jezebel. Yes, the daughter of Jezebel. She was married to Jehoram, who was the son of Jehoshaphat. All right? Yeah. She put him and his nurse to a bedroom to hide him from Athaliah. So he was not killed. He remained hidden with his nurse at the temple of the Lord for 6 years while Athaliah ruled the land. Athaliah was the daughter of Jezebel. The 7th year, Jehoiada sent for the commanders of units of 100, the Chariots and the guards, and had them brought to him at the temple of the Lord. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. He made a covenant with them and put them under oath at the temple of the Lord. Then he showed them the king's son. He commanded them, saying, "This is what you're to do. You are in the 3 companies that are going on duty on the Sabbath. A third of you guarding the royal palace, a third at the sewer gate, and a third at the gate behind the guard, who take turns guarding the temple. And you, who are in the other 2 companies that normally go off Sabbath duty, are to guard the temple for the king. Station yourselves round the king, each of you with weapon in hand. Anyone who approaches your ranks." If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment is to be put to death. Stay close to the king wherever he goes. The commanders of units of 100 did just as Jehoiada the priest ordered. Each one took his men, those who were going on duty on the Sabbath and those who were going off duty, and came to Jehoiada the priest when he gave the commanders the spears and shields that had belonged to King David and that were in the temple of the Lord. The guards, each with weapon in hand, stationed themselves round the king near the altar and the temple, from the south side to the north side of the temple. Jehoiada, okay, I'll just say Jehoiada, brought out the king's son and put the crown on him. He presented him with a copy of the covenant and proclaimed him king. They anointed him. The people clapped their hands and shouted, "Long live the king." When Athaliah heard the noise made by the guards and the people, she went to the people at the temple of the Lord. She looked, and there was the king standing by the pillar, as the custom was. The officers and the trumpets were beside the king, and all the people of the land were rejoicing and blowing trumpets. Then Athaliah tore her robes and cried out, "Treason! Treason!" Jehoiada the priest ordered the commanders of the units of 100 who were in charge of the troops, "Bring her out between the ranks and put to the sword anyone who follows her." For the priest had said, "She must not be put to death in the temple of the Lord." So they seized her as she reached the place where the horses enter the palace grounds, and there she was put to death. Jehoiada then made a covenant between the Lord and the people that they would be the Lord's people. He also made a covenant between the king and the people. All the people of the land went to the temple of Baal and tore it down. They smashed the altars and idols to pieces and kill Matan, the priest of Baal, in front of the altars. Matan, the priest of Baal. Any questions up there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment and tell me where you're watching this channel. Then Jehoiada the priest posted guards at the temple of the Lord. He took with him the commanders of the hundreds, the Karaites, the guards, and all the people of the land, and together they brought the king down from the temple of the Lord and went into the palace, entering by way of the gate of the guards. The king then took his place to the royal throne. All the people of the land rejoiced, and the city was calm, because Athaliah had been slain with the sword at the palace. Joash was 7 years old when he became the king. So Joash repairs the temple in 2 Kings 12. In the 7th year of Jehu, Joash became king. He reigned in Jerusalem for 40 years. Wow. His mother's name was Zibiah. She was from Beersheba. Joash did what was right in the eyes of the Lord all the years Jehoiada the priest instructed him. Jehoiada. The high places, however, were not removed. The people continued to offer sacrifices and burned incense there. Any questions? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Joash said to the priest, collect all the money that was brought as sacred offering. Collect all the money that was brought as sacred offerings to the temple of the Lord. The money collected in the census, the money received from personal vows, and the money brought voluntarily to the temple. Let every priest receive the money from one of the treasurers, then use it to repair whatever damage is found in the temple. But by the 23rd year of the king Joash, the priest had not repaired the temple. Therefore King Joash summoned Jehoiada the priest and the other priests and asked them, why aren't you repairing the damage done to the temple? Take no more money from your treasurers, but hand it over for repairing the temple. The priest agreed that they would not collect any more money from the people, and they would not repair the temple themselves. Jehoiada the priest took a chest and bored a hole, placed it beside the altar on the right side as one enters the temple of the Lord. The priest who guarded the entrance put into the chest all the money that was brought to the temple of the Lord. Whenever they saw that there was a large amount of money in the chest, the royal secretary and the high priest came, counted the money that had been brought to the temple, and put it into bags. When the money had been determined, they gave the money to the men appointed to supervise the work of the temple. It was Joash who repaired the temple in 2 Kings 12. With it they paid those who worked on the temple of the Lord, the carpenters and the builders, the masons and the stone cutters. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me where you're watching me from. I'll be very happy if you read the scripture with me. I'm blessed this wonderful day to be here. Any questions up to there? Any questions? Let us continue reading. So they purchased timber and blocks of dressed stone for the repair of the temple and met all the other expenses of restoring the temple. The money brought into the temple was not spent for making silver basins, wick trimmers, sprinkling bowls, trumpets, and any other articles of gold and silver for the temple of the Lord. It was paid to the workers who used it to repair the temple. They did not require an accounting from those to whom they gave the money to pay the workers, because they acted with complete honesty. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. The money from the gift offerings and the sin offerings was not brought into the temple of the Lord. It belonged to the priests. About this time, Hazael, the king of Aram, went up and attacked Gath and captured it. Then he turned to attack Jerusalem, but Joash, the king of Judah, took all the sacred objects dedicated to his predecessors, Jehoshaphat, Jehoram, Ahaziah, the kings of Judah, and the gifts he himself had dedicated, and all the gold found in the treasuries of the temple of the Lord and of the royal palace, and he sent them to Hazael, the king of Aram, who then withdrew from Jerusalem. As for the other events of the reign of Joash, and all he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Judah? His officials conspired against him and assassinated him at Beth Millo on the road down to Sila. The officials who murdered him were Jozabad, the son of Shimeath, and Jehozabad. That was Jozabad and Jehozabad, the son of Shoma. He died and was buried with his ancestors in the city of David, and Amaziah his son succeeded him as king. Jehoahaz, in the 23rd year of Joash, the son of Ahaziah, the king of Judah, Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, became the king in Samaria, and he reigned for 17 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord by following the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit, and he did not turn away from them. So the Lord's anger burned against Israel for a long time. He kept them under the power of Hazael, the king of Aram, and Beth-Hadad, his son. Then Jehoahaz saw the Lord's favor, and the Lord listened to him, for he saw how severely the king of Aram was oppressing Israel. The king of Aram, that was Hazael. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment, and tell me where you are watching me from. Then Jehoahaz saw the Lord's favor, and the Lord listened to him, for he saw how severely the king of Aram was oppressing Israel. The Lord provided a deliverer for Israel, and they escaped from the power of Aram. So the Israelites lived in their own homes as they had before, but they did not turn away from the sins of the house of Jeroboam, which he had caused Israel to commit. They continued in them. Also the Asherah pole remained standing in Samaria. Samaria was the hometown of Ahab. Remember, it was a hill place. It was bought by Omri, and he named the place Samaria. Nothing had been left of the army of Jehoahaz except 50 horsemen, 10 chariots, and 10,000 foot soldiers, for the king of Aram had destroyed the rest and made them like the dust at threshing time. Where? So this man was left desolate. That is, Jehoahaz had only 50 horsemen, 10 chariots, and 10,000 foot soldiers, for the king of Aram had destroyed the rest and made them like the dust. Why? As for the other events of the reign of Jehoahaz, all he did and his achievements, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Israel? Jehoahaz rested with his ancestors and was buried in Samaria, and Jehoash, his son, succeeded him as king. In the 37th year of Joash, the king of Judah, Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, became the king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned for 16 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and did not turn away from any of the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. He continued in them. As for the other events of the reign of Jehoash, all he did and his achievements, including his war against Amaziah, the king of Judah, are they not written in the annals, the book of the annals of the kings of Israel? Jehoash rested with his ancestors, and Jeroboam succeeded him on the throne. Jehoash was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. Now, Elisha had been suffering from the illness from which he died. Jehoash, that is the son of Jehoahaz, went down to see him and wept over him. My father, the chariots and horsemen of Israel. Do you remember this man, Jehoash, was at rock bottom? We've been told that they just had 50 horsemen, 10 chariots only during the time of Elisha. So Elisha said, get a bow and some arrows, and he did so. So take a bow in your hands. He said to the king of Israel, which he had taken it. Elisha put his hands on the king's hands, opened the east window. He said, shoot. And he shot. The Lord's arrow of victory. The arrow of victory over Aram. Elisha declared, you will completely destroy the Arameans at Aphek. Then he said, take the arrows, and the king took them. Elisha took them, struck the ground. He struck it 3 times and stopped. The man of God was angry with him. Listen, the man of God was angry with him, and he said, you should have struck the ground 5 or 6 times. 5 or 6 times. Then you would have completely destroyed Aram, and you would have defeated Aram and completely destroyed it. So he was told to strike the ground 5 or 6 times. But now you will defeat it only 3 times. Elisha died and was buried. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me watching this channel. Tell me where you're watching it. Any questions up to there? Now, Moabite raiders used to enter the country every spring. Once, while some Israelites were buying a man, suddenly they saw a band of raiders. So they threw the dead man's body into Elisha's tomb. When the body touched Elisha's bones, the man came to life and stood up on his feet. Hazael, the king of Aram, oppressed Israel throughout the reign of Jehoahaz, but the Lord was gracious to them and had compassion and showed concern for them because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. To this day he has been unwilling to destroy them or banish them from his presence. Hazael, the king of Aram, died, and Ben-Hadad his son succeeded him as king. Then Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, recaptured from Ben-Hadad, son of Hazael, the towns he had taken in battle from his father Jehoahaz. 3 times Joash defeated him, and so he recovered the Israel towns. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Tell me where you're watching me. In the second year of Joash, son of Joahaz, Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah, began to reign. Remember, Joash was the one from the family of Athaliah was the one who descended from that union between, I think it was Jehoram and Athaliah. Joash was the one who rebuilt the temple, and they collected money. So in the second year of Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, the king of Israel, Amaziah, the son of Joash, the king of Judah, began to reign. Amaziah, he was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem for 29 years. His mother's name was Jehoadan. She was from Jerusalem. He did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, but not as his father David had done. In everything he followed the example of his father Joash. Their places, however, were not removed. The people continued to offer sacrifices and to burn incense there. Any questions up to there? After the kingdom was firmly in his grasp, he executed the officials who had murdered his father the king, yet did not put the children of the assassins to death in accordance to what was written in the book of the law of Moses, where the Lord commanded, parents are not to be put to death for their children, nor children put to death for their parents. Each will die for their own sins. He was the one who defeated 10,000 Edomites in the valley of Salt and captured Selah in battle, calling it Joktheel, the name it has this day. Then Amaziah sent messengers to Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, the king of Israel, with a challenge: "Come, let us face each other in battle." Then Jehoash, son of Israel, replied to Amaziah, the king of Judah, "A thistle in Lebanon sent a message to a cedar in Lebanon: 'Give your daughter to my son in marriage.' Then a wild beast in Lebanon came along and trampled the thistle underfoot. You have indeed defeated Edom, and now you are arrogant. Glory in your victory, but stay at home. Why ask for trouble and cause your own downfall and that of Judah also?" Amaziah, however, did not listen, so Joash, the king of Israel, attacked. He and Amaziah, king of Judah, faced each other at Beth Shemesh in Judah. Judah was routed by Israel, and every man fled to his home. Joash, the king of Israel, captured Amaziah, the king of Judah, the son of Joash, the son of Ahaziah, at Beth Shemesh. Then Joash went to Jerusalem and broke down the wall of Jerusalem from Ephraim Gate to the corner gate, a section about 400 cubits long. Ooh. Amaziah. He took all the gold and silver and all the articles found in the temple of the Lord and also in the treasuries of the royal palace. He also took homages and returned to Samaria. As for the other events of the reign of Jehoash, is it the Jehoash who talked to Elisha? Jehoash. Oh, Jehoash must have been a very strong man. As for the other events of the reign of Jehoash, what he did and his achievements, including his war against Amaziah, the king of Judah, are they not written in the books of the annals of the kings of Israel? Jehoash rested with his ancestors and was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. And Jeroboam, his son, succeeded him as king. Amaziah, the son of Joash, the king of Judah, lived for 15 years after the death of Jehoash, the son of Joaz, the king of Israel. Jehoash. Joash. After the death of Jehoash, the son of Joaz, lived for 15 years. As for the other events of Amaziah, reign, are they not written in the books of the annals of the kings of Judah? They conspired against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish, but they sent men after him to Lachish and killed him there. He was brought back by the horse and was buried in Jerusalem with his ancestors in the city of David. Then all the people of Judah took Azariah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in place of his father Amaziah. He was the one who rebuilt Elath, restored it to Judah after Amaziah rested with his ancestors. Jeroboam the second, the king of Israel. There were two Jeroboams in Israel. There was the first Jeroboam and Jeroboam the second. Any question after that? Ooh. Any questions after that? In the 15th year of Amaziah, the son of Joash, the king of Judah, Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, became king in Samaria, and he reigned for 41 years. We have just let us stop there for tonight. I want to rest. Tomorrow we'll continue from there. If you're new to this channel, tell me where you're watching me from. We'll stop there. Jeroboam. We'll stop there. Any questions up there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. I want to stop there. I'm tired. Continue tomorrow. Any questions?
Mm-mm.